It's okay. Welcome back to part two of my live. I'm about to show you my pudding at this point, and I'll be removing it from my oven to show you. And I'll be adding in my sauce at this point. And I use this to like test it, and it's coming out clean. So at this point, your girl will be adding some coconut milk or some sauce on this because I want the top to be like soft. And of course, I did too much. Who is back? Tell me who is there. So, see, I added my coconut sauce on it, and I'll be adding it back in my oven, and I'll show you. This process should not take long. And I already sticked a fork in it, and see, this comes out clean. So I'll be adding it back to the oven for a few more minutes. All because I want the top to be soft. You're gonna rip? Whatever. See, I added back to my oven. Stay tuned. So it's 5:49. Who is there with me? I'm just waiting for my pudding top to finish. Give me 1 second. Waiting on my pudding top to finish. To show you all. So at this point, I'll be turning my Shakira. What's up, girl? I'm almost finishing up. I was making a Jamaican style sweet potato pudding, a little tiny pudding. So it's almost finished. I'm about to switch my stove, my oven off. So welcome. What's going on? Let me show you. Dang, right, girl? Yeah, I did a live doing a sweet potato pudding from scratch. So I just added some coconut sauce on top of it, and I'll leave in my oven. There it is. Still need to dry a little. Yeah, so I just turned my oven off, and I'll allow it to stay there, and you'll see what it looks like when I take it out. Yep. How was your day? I did the first part of the live, prepping, gratoring, blending my coconut, gratoring my potato. I added some yellow yam and my spices, etc. I used a little flour, a little cornmeal, cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg. You can also add fruits, but I don't like fruits like that. I normally either have to blend it. Yes, I'll do. I will. Which includes its coconut milk, sugar. It's more like a custard. So it's coconut milk, sugar, nutmeg, a little cinnamon, a little allspice, and some vanilla. Yep. How was your day?
I did.
Yes.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought you were on live.
I am.
Oh, it was good.
That's how live is. It's not edited, so anything can happen while you're at home. Yep. I did probably maybe an hour showing the whole process from start to finish. Yes. Your girl trying to drop in some lives to help me with my YouTube growth and also my watch hours. And I'm also on Facebook. I shared it on Facebook too, on my Shells Island Flavor cooking. Yep. And it's about getting down to the end of it. And I don't want it to be like too dried out, so I won't leave it in the oven for too long. Yes, that was Alex. Yeah. Yep. That was Mr. Hill Girl. How are your exams going on? Hey Tamika, I'm back. I'm almost there. Yep, I'm almost there. My pudding is almost out the oven. I hope you all had a good day. It's almost the end of the day, but I'm about to jump from the school building. Don't. Please don't. Please don't. I don't want to hear about you. Okay? That way. Please don't jump. My arm look like that. Please don't jump, girl. Take deep breath. You're almost there. You're almost at the end of it. School is like really stressful, especially when you work and have to go to school. It is stressful. Read my message up top. Okay, I will. Go in there now. Okay, Shakira. Yes. So one of your messages is, are you gonna have the recipe for the coconut sauce? Yes. Did you give examples how to do it American way? Cause I don't think I'm gonna grate anything. Okay, so the American way is you can just, I wouldn't say blend, but you can just use your blender probably on the chop to chop up the what you call it, the sweet potato, or I would say puree. Yes, puree would be better, and depending on the texture you're looking for, then probably blending, but it can be blended. You don't have to use, let me show you. So this was what I used, and I use this side. So it's up to you if you want to puree or you want to do it like real small, which is on the grater side, or the shred. You don't have to go this way. You can also blend it. And that would be the American way. The yam is optional. Not everyone adds yam to theirs, but I like to. I think it gives it a different taste. And also I reduce like the flour and the cornmeal. I did not use a lot because it's not really a big pudding, and I wanted more to taste the potato than the flour. So I'm about to take it from the oven and I'll show you. Let me switch my camera. Okay. And when I added it to the oven, firstly, I covered with a foil. Shakira, you're gonna lose all your fingers. Yes, that's true. That is so true. Mine's, every time I use it, it shreds some of my finger, but yeah. That's what the top looks like. And then I'll just leave it to cool. And I'll stick something in it so you see it. So I just, yes, Sam, let me come. Why you come go for yard for Miss Lines? Okay, Debbie Allen. So yes, I don't like my pudding like with too much flour. See, it's like moist, and I'll definitely put a picture up on the page when I'm done. See? Thank you, Shakira. And then I'll leave it like this to cool before I try to remove it from. And the American way, you don't have to use a cast iron skillet, because me show off or my boasting, I opted to use the skillet. In Jamaica, they normally use like a Dutch pot. So I opted to use my, see, I used that pot to do it, which is more like a Dutch pot itself. Yep. Because I wanted to. Yep. There is my finished Jamaican sweet potato pudding, about to cool and to enjoy a slice later. Yeah. So I leave it out to cool. I'll add it on my stove top. And then once it cools, see, I just add there to cool. And I'll definitely be putting a picture up to let you see what it looks like once it cools down. And I baked it at 280 degrees covered. Once I added it to the oven, I added it at 280 preheated, and I covered with foil for an hour. Then I remove the foil and allow it to start getting some color. And then once it started to get the color, within another 20 minutes, I removed it earlier in the video and I added the coconut sauce on top of it. I did one before on my channel, but it was like 2 years ago. Not many persons watched that video and I decided to do an upgrade. And as I mentioned in my live earlier, as Jamaicans, I think we need to get out of, I think it's a control thing where everyone cooks different. There is not one, and I say not one, written book that shows that any and every Jamaican should cook that way. So please be respectful of the style anyone tries to use to cook, and don't say, I know say it do. I know so me cook rice and peas. I know so me fried chicken. We're living in an era where change is very most important. And if we don't make the change, then who is going to make the change? So if you cook your rice and peas where you have to soak your peas, another person doesn't have to do that. And I'm on TikTok, and I think a lot of times when I follow other persons cooking Jamaican food, Jamaicans are always in the comment section. They come at me to like, curry chicken not supposed to cook that way. No. Be respectful of how that person chooses to experiment and to prepare their meal. You don't know the taste. They know the taste they're looking for or the taste they'll get. And I used a specific example in my part 1 where I was prepping the potatoes, where I mentioned that we have to be cognizant and very respectful of how, as Jamaicans, we prepare meals, and different from how your grandmother and how your mother used to do it. I was telling someone just last week that cooking is an experiment. It's an experiment for me. When I was in high school, I used to do cookery, or learn to cook. And I used to watch my mother and my grandmother cook. And I learned from them, and I tried to craft my own skills with cooking. Now, the example I gave the person is in Jamaica, we're only used to using, like, for example, eggs to coat chicken, to deep fry chicken. But listen, no, it's not only egg that can be used to coat chicken. On my channel, I show how I use egg. I also show how I use no egg, none at all. And I also show how I use water. So instead of using egg, instead of using even buttermilk, which I also use, water can be used. And listen to me, when you use water with your fried chicken process, it is the best chicken. It's crispy, it tastes so much like KFC. I can tell you that. And that was an experiment for me. So listen, we need to respect people cooking and people cooking skills. Nobody ain't no chef around here. I'm not a chef. However, I can cater for people. Preparation and presentation is also key. I can do my thing. I can cook. I know the taste to my food, the seasonings that I use, and I try to exempt salt from like 95% of my meals, because the seasonings themselves are laced with salt. I'll use a little salt, but it's not the salt that's gonna give the food the flavor. It's the seasoning and the soaking, the herbs and the spices. So we have to be respectful of not only one skill, but also how persons choose to make their meals. No book no right at Jamaica will tell you, say, if you have curry chicken, you have to burn curry, you have to do this, but I do it when I'm doing my chicken. So we have to be respectful, be cognizant, and just be mindful that not because you cook your rice this way, somebody else have to do it that way. Every Jamaican cook different, and every Jamaican that has a cooking channel showing people how Jamaicans cook, them do it a different way. So let's be very respectful of that. See, I don't use salt because all the seasonings are filled with salt, and it depends on what I'm doing to use salt. MSG, I don't use MSG in my meals because some of the seasonings already, when I was in Jamaica, and that's one of the reasons why as Jamaicans a lot of us suffer from hypertension. Seasoning salt, we don't need to be using seasoning salt, and we can learn from each other. Thank you, Diane. Yep, we just have to be respectful of, oh, you bake your chicken or your barbecue chicken. It doesn't have to be the way how I do it, but I'm doing it. And as I say, we have to test the waters. We have to be creative. Cooking is also being creative. Your mind is creative, what you do is creative, what you're putting out there, it is also creative. It's a creation. Seasoning salt, I can show you my seasonings, most of my seasonings that I have. I don't, because you're the one that told me to use garlic with boiling peas. Yep, I don't use. So these are some of my seasonings. I'll use onion powder, cayenne, that's an allspice. I use smoked paprika, chili, red crushed pepper. It depends, and it's so much quicker. Yep, that saffron is a little sazon or sazon that's in it. I use turmeric, I have curry powder, I use oregano, I use parsley, cilantro. Five spice is another mixed one, and I use Cajun. The Cajun, I think it has in a little MSG. Bay leaf is a must when I'm cooking like my oxtails and any type of meat. I use bay leaf. Ginger is a must too. Dried thyme, cumin, I use Italian blend. That's Parmesan, mustard. I also use garlic powder, and these are just some of the seasonings that I use. So as I mentioned, it depends. Verity, I did the spice of life. If we all cook the same way, things would be boring. So true. So true. Yep. I don't use MSG. I don't use. In Jamaica, them used to call it seasoning salt. I don't use seasoning salt in my meals. Them something that cause hypertension. And as Jamaicans, a lot of us, our father, my mom, suffers from hypertension. So I am very high risk. However, I have to watch what I eat, my salt intake. Girl, that 5 spice is good for Chinese meal. It is. I have to watch my intake of salt, which is already sodium. So MSG are something we use to a Jamaica. Like no, my mom doesn't use seasoning salt. I also use a lot of Mrs. Dash herbs and spices. And it's, let me tell you, it's not that you're going to get it immediately. You will have to experiment, because I experiment and that's how I learn. And I get the taste from the food that I desire. And I will say this one don't taste good, or the one that don't taste good. It's an experiment. It's a trial and error when you're cooking. MSG, cut that out, because the seasonings that you buy, even the Cajun one, I wish I had the bottle could show you, but the Cajun one has like, I think it says 2% or 5% maximum MSG in it. That's okay. If you're using that, you don't need MSG, you don't need seasoning salt. I don't use seasoning salt in my meal. And I'm not hiding any seasonings from you. Those are most of my seasonings, and then I have a few others that I use, but I normally purchase them, test them, the taste that they give, and that's how you're going to know which seasoning really fit what you're cooking. If I'm cooking like beef, I'll use a little salt. Chicken, once I use Sazon or Sazon on it, I don't use no form of, I'll use a little Maggi bouillon every now and then. Yes, that's the only one I use, and I'll show you the one I use. This one, and this is Maggi all-purpose. I'll use this one every now and then. And then I mostly use pink Himalayan or sea salt. And let me tell you, for the Maggi, this one says 8.5 milligram sodium. It says 10 kilogram per, I can't even see that, but yep, I'll use a little of this Maggi all-purpose, and I mostly use pink Himalayan or sea salt. This one, even though they said iodized salt is not good, but I'll use a little of this. And I use this too to wash my fruits, my veggies. Salt can be used to wash your fruits and your veggies. Cabbage, all them type of veggies, I use this to like wash them. If you want, you can also tip a little vinegar in it. These are good for, this is good for your fruits and your veggies. And this one, everything I do, that Maggi's nice, yep. Everything I do, I use this. Chili. Yeah. Yeah, this is a good one to use. And this doesn't have no MSG in it. I use lots of this. This too is a very, very good one that you can use to like make shots, which I'll probably do a video on it. Hi Jet, you're back from the gym. Finishing up on my pudding. talking about seasonings here. This one is, I use everything. I even sprinkle this on food to eat it. This has a little spice to it, and this is good. This can be used to make shots to drink. Like if you wake up in the morning and you take like a ginger lemon shot or whatever, cayenne pepper is like really good. Yes, hard workout. Good for you. I went this morning. I do very early morning. So this one is a good one. I use this like on any and everything. There's no MSG in it. We need to cut out seasoning salt. Seasoning salt is not good for our bodies. Seasoning salt is not good to even put in our bodies. It's not good. And as Jamaicans, that's why a lot of us suffer from hypertension. Excluding me. I don't suffer from hypertension. Thanks be to God. Not bored. But sodium is not good for us. And if you're using regular salt, that's fine. Just be cognizant. Just make sure that you're not using too much. Your food is not too salty. As Jamaicans, we love spicy, but it's not the spicy where it is like salty. Yes. And if you're able to maintain your salt intake level, then listen, tell hypertension bye. That's what caused a lot of Jamaicans to have issues with hypertension. The whole heap of MSG. When I migrated here, it was hard, very hard for me to get used to the American seasoning. And when I travel, I used to come back with seasoning like curry powder. I used to purchase seasonings in Jamaica and bring it back to the US. And it was during COVID that I started a YouTube channel. And when I started the YouTube channel, I really wanted to try different herbs, spices, and blends, and to educate the public about certain seasonings that will give you flavor and taste, and for cut out seasoning salt. Seasoning salt is a killer. It is. So be careful of the seasonings you buy. Be careful of the seasonings that you purchase. Make sure you watch them for make sure them not having no MSG. Decline. Scam likely. Why are you calling? Yep. And listen, chili powder, even smoked paprika. You would be surprised how they make that smoked paprika. Maybe in the summer I'll try to, I don't know, I'll see. I won't make any promise that I am going to show. Shala said, hey, Shala, you need to subscribe to my channel. Shala, you should be subscribed over here and commenting. Hi girl. I experimented and found out how they made smoked paprika. I won't tell you, but I can make smoked paprika. Just like this chili, I can make this. Probably in the summer, I'll probably try on my channel, but the process is a long one. But try to stay away from food with MSG. Seasoning salt. Throw away the seasoning salt. People don't need seasoning salt for cooking nowadays. You can try a little of the Maggi all-purpose. You don't need seasoning salt, and I think that has but the proportion that has MSG is like really small when compared to seasoning salt itself. Seasoning salt is like a killer. Cause for hypertension, cause for other problems, and you know, with hypertension that can lead into so many other problems. So stay away from the sodium. Yes. Stay away from sodium. Tell Charlotte to subscribe to my channel. What she waiting on? And share with her friends. She wanna learn how to cook. Right? I'm gonna try to see if I can take my pudding out. It might be difficult, but I was trying to take the pudding out, but one thing with potato pudding, if it's not cool, it will break up. But thank you guys for coming in to chat with me about cooking. Cook the way how you know how. Nothing is wrong in learning from others or trying someone's idea. And remember, if you're watching my videos and taking notes, I told you in a few of my videos that I did with chicken that instead of using egg, you can use water. You can season your chicken, make sure your chicken is seasoned well. And once the chicken is seasoned well, you're going to need your flour mixture and some water. Cornstarch is another good thing. I have so many videos out there to change the way how you're so used to doing things. So not to stray from the chicken using the fried chicken using water. Yay, Shala! Go subscribe. I see you comment. Big up to my student Shyla Brown for subscribing. You go, girl. Share with your friends. Make sure you drop your comment and tell auntie any and everything. All right, thank you. For the fried chicken, you season overnight or you season a couple hours before, allow to marinate. Once you allow to marinate and now you're ready to fry, you will dip it in the water. You can put it in a strainer, dip it in the water, or you can just dip it in the water. Take it back from the water, which is just regular tap water, cold water. You take it from the tap water or whatever water you choose. If it's room temperature, add it in your flour and listen to me. The skin of the chicken is so crispy. The chicken itself is really, really crispy. Another way how you can do your fried chicken by using water instead of using egg, instead of using buttermilk. Even buttermilk, you can make your own buttermilk. It's lemon. It's a little lemon juice in some milk. So if you're using almond milk or whatever, just add some lemon in it, and once you see it start curdling, that's buttermilk. And it's only through experiment I found that out for myself. You're doing even your Alfredo sauce. I have videos on how I make my Alfredo sauce from scratch. Not the store-bought one in the bottle. That's a waste of time. Yellow rice. I've shown you guys how to make yellow rice from scratch. Don't buy no yellow rice. You just need turmeric and just follow my ingredients and my instructions. Lots of idea, good idea on how to eat home less. Reduce the fast food outside and you'd be surprised to see how you're able to save money by investing at home to cook. If you cook once or twice per week, cook and you have sufficient to serve you for at least 3-4 days. Eating out is, for a month my kitchen was out and it was the worst experience ever. Yes, because I had to find someone's house to like go prepare meals, because for a week or the second week I tried to eat out. It cost a lot to eat out. If you want to save towards anything at all, take my foolish advice, stop eating out every day. Stop spending $50 and $60 on pizza today, and wings are $100, and then tomorrow you run the credit card again to purchase food outside. No, purchase food and learn to save. And that's one of the way how I save, or how I'm able to save, is prepare your meals at home. Home cooked meals are important, essential, and very economical. Prepare your meals at home. You can eat out maybe on a Friday, because I don't normally cook on a Friday. Friday is a no cook day for me. So I might, as well as if I have leftovers in my fridge, I'll eat. I have 13 more minutes to spend with you all. I'll munch on something light, but I don't cook on a Friday. Worse, on a Saturday. I am a 7-day Adventist. I don't cook on a Saturday. Normally, if they provide lunch at church, or I feel like coming home, I'll come home and I'll munch on something. I don't light my stove. Maybe in the morning for breakfast, I'll probably maybe scramble an egg or do something, but stop eating out every day. 7 days per week, stop eating out. Make one day a party where you eat out. Cooking at home is clean. You know what you're doing. You don't know who talking over your food when you purchase it out there. Reduce the amount of money you spend outside to support a lot of these fast food places, which they're giving you food that is already prepped and they just warm it up. Subscribe. Shell's Island Flavor Cooking is where all the cooking are going. And I'll be going live once every week. Maybe every Tuesday I'll try to go live to do live cooking videos. It could be any and everything. Tell your daughter, tell your son, any and everyone can come over your store, come over here and learn. If you don't understand the patwa, can come to my channel and learn how to cook rice from scratch. I have a beginner's video, and I try not to get too technical in the videos when cooking. So like students like Shyla, who is grown, might not understand and be like, what she talking about? I try not to be too technical in it. So send your kids over, college kids, whoever they are, teach them from now. Now is the time to teach them how to cook. YouTube is friendly to children under and over a certain age, so just send them on. Come and subscribe. Comments are guarded, and you have to make sure you watch the guidelines of the comments. So educational stuff is on YouTube. So my pudding is not yet cool, but it's, look at it, it's almost there. I'm gonna try to cut a little piece, even though it's, I know it's gonna break up, but let's see what happens. Let's see. It's hot. It's hot. So guys, I'm gonna end my live and I'll catch you guys. I'll make sure to put a slice on for my screensaver. I'll catch you guys again. Stay blessed, stay safe. Love you all. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for the support from all the old ones too. Bye.